When the outdated tactics get left behind, it's time we stop. Marketers look around when your ranking's going down. It's the Jim and Ann Show, Jim and Ann Show. I am Jim.
I am Ann.
Here we go, rock and roll.
That's not an easy topic today, right? Not something we are too happy about.
Oh.
All those ways Google now strips organic positions, and for the sake of their other different sections they came up with, and it's called deduplication. And it happens now with featured snippets, with top stories, and with interesting finds sections. So anytime you rank in any of those, you lose your organic position, which is, I don't know, how many times did you ever click on top stories? I don't think I ever used that section. And we don't have any organic versus all those other sections click-through studies, which is understandable because they are so dynamic and they pop up for some queries, then they show up for other queries. You never know like when, where to find them. So let's talk about that. What do you think about that whole deduplication thing, Jim?
I think it's a bummer, especially if Google's trying to give no-click results, where Google's trying to give the answer on the page often. And so they're trying to parse out where on the page that someone might be looking for an answer to something. And in doing that, they're often it's not the best solution for the user. Often there's a story around that solution or a story around the picture or something. And they're robbing the website as well of traffic. And I think it's a bummer for SEO or for any website.
I think it's important to give a little history behind what happened here. So we used to have featured snippets for maybe 4 years now, maybe even more. And that's when, and we used to call them actually quick answers before Google came up with this official featured snippet name for that section. So we always thought it was quick answer. Everyone scrolls down past because it is quick answer. It's not for clicking. It's to give a quick summary, a quick answer to the query. And you would rank there if you give a good answer to a search query. But you would also rank below that. You would have your organic position. So we were all about getting featured because suddenly you have two positions in Google. First, you give a quick answer. It may be helpful or not, but it's still something to look for. And then there is your organic position. It may be number 1, number 2, number 3, usually in that range. Then in 2019, Google decided that having 2 URLs per SERP is not a good user experience. So now if you get featured, you are no longer ranking organically anywhere. And they also said you will see a decline in click-through because Google in Search Console would show both click-through from both of those positions. So now you have just one, basically, yes, you will have a little less clicks.
And the featured one is kind of meant in the eyes of Google to give you the answer without having you click. So it's not quite user-friendly to click. Of course you can go, but it's designed to show you something so you don't have to click. It's not as click-friendly as normal organic results where you're going to be like, all right, let me go to the page and read.
Exactly. So after that, I think a year after that, they decided there are more sections, especially on mobile, that provide additional information for trending topics. There would be top stories for other types of searches. There will be interesting finds, and people would just show little box with those URLs. I think there is no description, just the URL, but they changed the design a little bit from time to time. So you would see those, and basically I would also scroll down because they are not as relevant to my search query as normally. Sometimes I would click if it's something newsworthy and very recent, I would click there. It's mostly like, like previously they would show news results when the topic is very trending. So something like that. Now they would use the same deduplication technique for those sections as well. So if you, for some reason, wrote a great article on a trending topic and it's very high volume because it's trending, you would be showing up in that section, but you would lose your organic position. And a lot of news publications notice that because of their high authority of their websites, their news would rank organically very fast, but now they just see themselves in those top stories or news results as well. And for us, the dilemma is, how do we keep our organic ranking without getting trapped in all those separate sections, which we don't know whether they even get clicked or not. There is no way to tell. There's no good way to tell. And Google came up with one solution for getting rid of your featured snippet position, is to use no snippet meta tag. But if you use it, you use your organic snippet as well. So it's like, it's a no solution at all.
Because it robs you of everything. You don't get any snippet, even like a meta description or anything on the page.
Yeah, so there is no snippet basically. There's just
no good solution.
So there is no good solution, and there is no good solution for getting rid of those top stories or interesting finds traps as well. So I guess this is one of those things when we just have to go with the flow and wait for Google to change that because they do not provide us with any solution. But if you see that your click-through is getting lower, that might be something that's going on. You might be deduplicated. And it's also such an interesting thing because you already doing a great job. You created a great content. You are ranking. You did everything, and now you're being punished for that.
and there was a recent case, I believe, of a news source had written an article, and everything in the organic results were duplicates of the original article. And I think it went to John, and John ended up saying, "Oh, you're
Danny,"
among other things. Oh, Danny, you're up in the top results, so we removed you from the organic."
Deduplication. Oh yeah, I mean, I get the user experience thing about this. Like, we don't want people to see the same URL again and again in the same thing, but I don't think it's fair to do that for publishers because they already doing a great job. They already giving a great answer to that query. And if they're featured, so they are cool, they are great because they created content that deserved getting featured. So why punish them?
Well, the same would also be, if we look at, say, featured snippets as well, and, regular websites losing the organic, like, it used to be like, oh, I've done, a great job. I got the featured snippet and, I'm ranked number one. So here's the short answer. Here's where people can go. It'd be like, I'm really giving users a great experience. I've done so wonderful here. But once they pull out your number one organic listing, that other spot, you're not getting the clicks, same with, issue with the newspapers getting in the top stories. It's like they don't get the clicks. It's the organic that gets the clicks, and suddenly you're punished. Oh, your great thing, you only get the short answer and no one's ever going to click on your site. It's like I won, but I lost.
I think that if we talk about that enough, maybe if now that the big names in publishing industry would raise some alerts about that.
It's going to have to be all the publishers pulling all their ad spend from Google. Which I don't know if that'll happen or not.
I don't know, but
give it a shot.
Hopefully that will encourage Google to at least give us some control over that. Like if we don't want to get featured and give the quick answers, we don't have to de-optimize our content, but we will just have that little checkbox in our search console saying, no, we don't want our content to provide quick answers. So something like that. That would be at least fair to someone who's working at it. But there is no solution like that yet. We will keep an eye on that, and the moment it appears, we will know about that and we will report.
Look around when your ranking's going down.